It's been a little while, but I need you to bear with me. I can't find the XLR thing for my mic, so the audio isn't going to sound as good, which is great because it was expensive. But there is a silver lining. I got out of Borderlands. Oh boy, it was bad. So Borderlands, if you didn't know, is directed by Eli Roth, who made stuff like Hostel, Green, something with green and cannibals. Yeah, this movie wasn't very good. Starring a great cast with Kevin Hart, Cate Blanchett, Ariana Greenblatt, Jamie Lee Curtis, follows a ragtag of unlikely heroes. And no, this is not the synopsis. I'm just like memorizing what happened. This movie wasn't good. And going in, I obviously knew that just because it's a PG-13 studio flick. Avi Arad produced it. Not really a fan of whenever he gets hitched onto something. I can't even think of anything that's been good since he has helped, like, story-wise or even produce-wise, just because of all the privilege that people get. This movie was a CGI fest. Obviously, if you've seen the trailer, you know it doesn't look very good. That being said, Jack Black was fun. Cate Blanchett was wasted. Ariana Greenblatt, who, if you don't know, played young Gamora in Infinity War. She was young Ahsoka in Ahsoka. And she was also in... Oh, she was in Borderlands, yeah. A lot of the humor didn't land. There were 2 jokes that my audience, like, laughed at. Lots of, toilet humor did not land. The sets just... You can tell they were filmed on a stage, obviously, and the green screen really didn't help. It didn't look very good. But honestly, I think the rating really holds this film back just because it's based on... Because I've never played the video games. Like, I'll be frank. I don't really know what they're about, obviously. I looked on Reddit, and apparently Eli decided to not go with the canon. He kind of made up his own story. And oh my god. This movie has like a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm really wondering like how the original like drafts were for this movie. It was boring. I'm trying to think what else I mean, the music was generic. It didn't really stand out to me at all. I thought that the acting was fine. It didn't really blow me out of the water. I'd say my 2 favorite video game movies are World of Warcraft, which you can say whatever you want. I enjoyed it. I pirated it. So let that tell you something. And Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander, I liked. I made a video about her sequel not being greenlit because there was some studio stuff that happened, and I think MGM... I don't know, this was years ago. Anyway, I would not watch this movie. Unless you want to kill an hour and 42 minutes, just call me a library book, because after like 30 minutes I was checked out. I know, it's just end my suffering, please. Okay, bye. So, it's been a couple days, and I just got out of watching... I just got out of watching Harold and the Purple Crayon, and it was... I keep burping. It was uninspired, unfunny, a special effect heavy, and kind of a waste of a movie, and I guess in concept. Now, I've never read the original novel by insert name here, but I knew the cast. It has Zachary Levi as Harold, Lil Rel Howery, I can't pronounce his name. It has Zoe Deschanel, and a fun little thing I didn't realize is Alfred Molina voices the narrator. That was worth the hour and a half, right? So this movie follows a young boy named Harold we see in the opening credits, as his world is completely two-dimensional, black and white. He has this magical crayon. It's unexplained, I believe, how he got it, but it has really great powers. You can draw anything you want, construct anything, It's kind of like the Green Lantern's ring, where it's the only limit is your imagination. And unfortunately, this movie just lacked imagination. I mean, the most creative things we see are a fight scene at the end. Wasn't very fun. The villain was very forgettable. His name was Gary. I don't remember the actor's name, but I'm sure I'll put it up somewhere. I thought the acting was fine. No performance really stood out. But I do want to touch upon Zachary Levi, and I guess the sort of downfall that I've noticed in his movies. He was, of course, in Shazam, Shazam 2, American Underdog, and most recently the new Spy Kids movie, which I haven't seen. I haven't seen like the past 2 or 3 of them. I don't know how many there are in total. Because you know me, I stopped after the original trilogy, which I haven't seen in years. But I thought that the special effects just really didn't do it for me. The director, I don't think has a good track record, if any track record at all. Honestly, the only reason that I saw it was just because it was a new movie out, and the Regal app was kind of messing up because there was a huge storm, so that was fun. So, I'd say if you want to kill an hour and a half, you can, but there's more I mean, you have DD coming out next weekend, Alien Romulus coming out. I can't think of anything else right now, but there's just better stuff coming out. And not to diss a kids movie, but when you have a kids movie, you expect like rules to be had and logic to kind of not be thrown out the window. There's a really hilarious scene in which Harold makes a plane with the crayon, and they're flying away in, I think, New York. And they ditch the plane in midair, and the constructs don't go away. Like, I'm pretty sure they stay there, like, in the world. So, I thought that was really, really funny. There's no consequence. But you know what? I think I'm just digging a little too deep into it because it's a kid's movie. You're not supposed to really think about these things. So, yeah. That's it. Bye. So, it turns out that this is at Will's place, and he's like 10 hours away. So, yeah, I'm just gonna have this just for pretend. So I watched DD earlier, and it is the directorial debut of Sean Wang. No idea who he is. He directed a short. I can't pronounce that short. I think it came out 5 years ago. I could be wrong about that. The movie follows a young boy named Chris, 8th grade, high school, as he navigates his life, his relationship with his mother, his sister, his grandmother, his friends. In a way, this movie is everything that I wanted mid-90s to be. If you saw Jonah Hill's directorial debut in 2019, I thought that the acting was great, especially from the mother, and the side characters weren't bad either. I think because skateboarding is a pretty heavy plot point in this movie, because the main character wants to be a skater, and he also wants to film, be a videographer for skating. And it's everything I wanted mid-90s to be, just because mid-90s was such a letdown for me. I think in terms of its characters, they felt very dry. The best part about the movie was the trailer. Mid-90s, not DD. I think the movie was a lot better than the trailer made it look. It usually has a lot of, I guess, tropes that a lot of indie films do have, which, the story kind of resolves itself at the climax. This one didn't. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it, but if you want something that kind of subverts your expectations in a good way, there's some things that hit home, some things that obviously I can't relate to because I'm not Asian American. I think if you're wanting it's a fun movie, very emotional at times, very funny at times. It's not going to make a lot of money. A lot of these independent films just end up flopping just because the casual audiences would rather go see Deadpool and Wolverine, Alien Romulus, things like that. So that's basically it. Cinematography-wise, this movie didn't really do much, which is interesting, but it's a debut, you know. The director's going to find some craft and find a way, because there is a little bit of a point in this movie where to get better at filming, you have to get interesting angles for what you're trying to present in your work, whether that be professional or just anything. Like this, the camera, it's bland, it's basic. I don't have a tripod, and the one I do have is kind of bad, so yeah. Home Depot, please pay me. I did think that the music was fine. It didn't really blow me out of the water. You know, some piano cues, I guess some like pop music, but the film takes place in 2008, and I obviously don't remember the music from that time period. I was in 4th grade. Yeah, I was in 4th grade when that time was. It was a simple time, let me tell you. I would recommend this film highly if you like great acting, if you like good storytelling, if you want to just shed a tear, because I was pretty close to doing it. I may watch Alien Romulus coming up. These reviews that I'm doing, by the way, I'm going to compile them into just one, maybe big one or smaller ones. I just haven't really had the free time, which it is the weekend, so I do have the free time. But we'll see. I've just been kind of lazy, playing a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena. It's crazy. Anyway, bye.